Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Come to you live from our comfy couch here in the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for January 6, 2024. For your host, Pixelmaker2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hi.
So, more Saber.
I feel like we had 3.5 good episodes.
The show is trying now. And unfortunately, the things it's trying with, I don't care about. And maybe it's because I wasn't really invested in like the first 24 episodes of this show, that it's like, hey, our Backstreet Boys were good guys once, and I'm like, it is too late for you to make me care about them.
I can honestly say this. Now I see why they tried to redeem all of the villains. Now I full on see where that came from. They set it up here, and it's like, no. Their redemption has long since left the building.
Yeah. It is too late. It is literally too late for the person you literally kill the next episode after you tell us this fact.
Because in all seriousness, for those wondering, I don't really consider this spoiler, but we literally spend like half of the last episode trying to basically redeem all of our villains. I didn't care when I saw that. Now I care even less now that I see that they actually tried to set this up now.
Yeah. And then we have the stuff with Primitive Dragon that also just makes me go, huh? But also I don't care.
The Primitive Dragon stuff, I almost feel like that works more so than trying to redeem the villains. Just saying.
One thought I have breaks that, because I'm like, wait a minute. Hang on.
I feel like when this whole idea was being written, the boy that Toma sees wasn't supposed to be the personification of Primitive Dragon. I feel like that had to have gotten shoehorned into being what we got.
Yeah,
I feel like they were going a completely different direction with that. And then it was last minute, someone was like, no, we are doing it this way. Mm-hmm. And everyone else was like, but we had Thing.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, a reminder that Luna exists, and I'm like, Toma has forgotten about this small child for fucking weeks. I don't care about this small child.
Repeatedly.
Bear in mind, has not.
The only time she's of any importance is when they feel like it's a good idea to throw her name in the mix.
When we need to make Toma care about the wider plot.
Not even that. Not even that. It's like they have forgotten about, honestly, two characters, because we do have two characters that are completely forgotten about right now.
Oh, you mean the character that is still stuck in the broom closet?
Yes. That her entire screen time consisted of getting slapped in the face, and that was it.
Is being like, everyone okay?
Which, you know, is actually on par, because that's how they're treating her character right now.
Hang on, she does have one more scene. In the scene with all the alternate futures and stuff, she is in that. Dying.
I mean, at least she got to do something else in this path.
She got to pray and then disintegrate. So that is the sum total of her like time so far.
But I feel like those two characters literally have been forgotten about by most of the writing team. And there's that one person that probably created both of them. It's like, hey, wait, we haven't mentioned them. Oh, yeah, we'll just throw them in right here and it'll be fine. Because tell me I'm wrong. Because I'm not. It feels like there's one person that is just constantly harping and like, nope, these two characters, they exist. We need to at least mention their names.
Mm-hmm.
I have to wonder, would the show be any different if we just didn't have those two? Because I feel like probably not.
Sophia changes nothing. You do have to tweak Toma's backstory to some extent to remove her existence.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. You can. Yeah.
You can completely leave it like it is.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Because the only reason that he is even important in it is he was at the scene of that battle.
So if he's just some rando that was at the scene of the battle, it works fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason he's there is Kento. You don't even need Luna. It could just be that him and Kento were there as kids.
Yeah.
That didn't really dawn on me until you pointed that out. And I'm like, no, yeah, you can remove both these characters and it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
This show sometimes.
It's one of those, it's like, there is a good premise with it. I will give it that. But God, can you not tell that this is poor writing?
Yeah.
Like, that is all this is. It's one of those. I was more annoyed with the show before we started actually, getting into plot stuff. Now I'm just kind of disappointed in it. Because I see that it could have been so much more. It's just the writing team didn't know what to do, really.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately why I can't hate this show, because I'm like, there is something good here, but it just can't stop fumbling the ball at every turn. Like, you are close to going in the dumpster, but I can't consciously put you in there because you're not. I don't hate you like I hate the other shows that are in the dumpster. I don't want to watch those shows again. I can tolerate Saber's existence, tolerate going through Saber one more time to try.
I wouldn't go that far. I would have to skip some of the episodes.
True.
Because yet again, during our rewatch, about the same point is the same point that I probably on my own would have turned away from the show. Looking at that now, yeah, that is and was a little unfair, but it's because the show made it that way. If we hadn't started out like we did, I probably would have watched it all the way through. It probably would have been on par with Ghost. Another show that has good premise, but fumbles the ball repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those, yeah.
I feel like this show fumbles more.
Yeah.
Like I can't say that these are of equal quality because I'm like, no, there's some part of me that still enjoys Ghost more. And maybe it's because I don't know, one character in there had like a full character arc. And I don't know, some of the other stuff was fun, I guess. But like this, no. There's like 2 characters I like here, and they are sidelined as fuck at this point. There would be a 3rd character. Unfortunately, I remember what happens to her, and I'm like, right. It takes an entire, like, 2-episode special. Was it 2 episodes? I forget how many episodes Girls Remix is, but like, it takes that to make me go, oh, I like this character again, because she's completely divorced from her original show and doesn't have to deal with a specific character that makes her character bad. Anyway, should we recap the episodes?
I guess so.
All right, we're going to start at episode 25, Clad in Smoke, the Crimson Assassin. So Toma's dreaming about Primitive Dragon and of the small child. Or just a Primitive Dragon and like accidentally killing everybody because he goes berserk and stuff, which, you know what? At least they acknowledge that. I do find it hilarious that May is the last one standing, injured, mind you, whereas everyone else is dead.
Yeah, but I mean, before he wakes up, she was almost dead.
True. But then he wakes up, but he's still dreaming because Liz there being like, you have to save the small child in the book. Bye.
Except for she doesn't say that. She says, save me. Looking at him. Because keep that in mind. Because later in the episode, they do the same scene with her looking at the book.
Because oops, we shot it the wrong way the first time. When we get a retcon this.
I saw that and I'm like, that's not how that was. You guys screwed that up.
Bravo, guys. Bravo. But yeah, then that happens. Also, apparently Luna is a known quantity to both Tassel, who is a character now, because why is he a character? Why is he a character in the show? I don't understand.
I almost think it's because they didn't want just a narrator character.
I guess. But it's so weird now because it's like, okay, if you've been watching the show like we have, you've probably been skipping the recap portions because why the fuck do you need those? I literally just watched the last episode, but now all of those are canon.
Well,
and some of them are plot relevant.
Well, and here's kind of my issue with how this is set up here. It's perceived all the way up till here that Tassel is like some higher power that can oversee from both sides. Except for this batch goes to the point of saying that no, Tassel is the keeper of the Wonder World. So then how the heck does he know what's going on with Toma and them?
How is he breaking the fourth wall every episode to recap to us, the audience, to talk to us, the audience, twice every episode?
I mean,
because he does that.
I'm fine with the breaking the fourth wall. My thing is, how does he know in real time what is going on with Toma and them when Tassel's nowhere related to anything that should be going on to the
book tell him
side.
The things in the books tell him. the best I got.
Okay, but that still doesn't work.
I know.
Because in real time, not delayed. No, in real time.
Anyway.
It has to. The real world answer to that is probably Tassel's actor probably is contracted for so many episodes.
I don't even remember whose Tassel actor is. I think he's a comedian.
It's probably a case of something in the contract says must be in X amount of episodes.
I guess.
And that is the easiest way of doing that.
But we're gonna move on to the episode. Toma's still afraid of the book that keeps possessing him and making him go berserk because reasons. We'll get to it. We will get to it. Southern Base, Master Locos is like, we gotta take out Toma and them. And I think Rentaro is also here. It's just like, are we sure about that? And Locos is like, yes, we have to murder him. He's the traitor. So go do what I say.
Because he's totally not suspicious at all.
We then, everyone who wasn't at the fight gets informed about Caliber being back. Yuri's like, how do you go talk to an old friend, aka the character who exists outside of the plot of this story? Real quick.
And is fixing to exist inside the plot of this story to immediately get killed.
Yeah. Except not. Because he shows up later.
Shows up later within a book, so I have to think it's some kind of book shenanigans.
Probably. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he does get killed, but I'm pretty sure it's not here. But anyway, May takes Rentro's stolen books and delivers them back to Rentaro and tries to talk him into, being a friend. This is when Sophia gets slapped by Reika because Reika's in the fucking mood. Toma notices that Rentro's books are gone, so he goes after May. This leaves Buster and Slash at the base when Reika shows up and is like, hi, I'm here to murder you all. And we see that she is Sabella, the smoke swordsman who has been doing all the smoke shenanigans the entire show. How do you feel about Sabella now that we see her in action?
I mean, it's kind of on par for an antagonistic writer.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. It almost... Which, I mean, I get it. They did make the parallel within this episode. It almost feels like they just wanted to reuse Caliber's gimmick, though. It don't really feel like they wanted to make her own thing.
Yeah, because she has the same sort of the Caliber? No, Caliber had counter. She has intangibility. Because I don't think Caliber did intangibility stuff.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he had more like, I could take your shit and counter it against you.
But it's one of those they made a comment about the parallel between them, and that kind of also cheapened it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. None of these are the original wielder of it, but at the same time, it's like having two of the same type in the show kind of cheapens it a bit.
again, why I've ended up liking her when she is divorced from her show and with other characters that are not from this show. But yeah, she beats the crap out of both of them. Rentro and Toma eventually find out because Buster's kid tells them, because Toma goes meets Rentro and they have an argument that is very much a lover's quarrel, as May puts it, because But they eventually get back. She's still beating the crap out of them. Steals Berman, I believe, in this fight. But Toma transforms the fight. He goes primitive because primitive doesn't want him to do anything else but be turned into him.
I mean, berserk form do berserk.
Right. We'll get to it.
Even though, you know, we can see him change into forms that don't work with primitive, but still turn into primitive.
Yeah, because he becomes Dragonic Knight, I think, both times in this one.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I read it. The third episode of this is the last time we see Dragonic Knight. Which I just stare at and just go, so the best suit in the show is just gone now. Great. Hooray.
I honestly can't agree with you. Elemental's not bad, though.
Icy hot dragons growing on you.
It really don't look that bad, because they muted a lot of the reds. If they'd left it the uber bright, then yeah, it wouldn't be as good.
Yeah.
But the fact that they kind of darkened it up a little bit, it works for it.
Yeah.
It's one of those, I would much rather take Elemental over the 3-book combo that he's got. Just saying.
Yeah.
Dragonic Knight, though, that one's still the best.
Mm-hmm.
Visually, at least.
Yeah, Primitive fights everybody. Yuri shows up, tries to stop it. Then Caliber shows up and stops Toma, but the move backfires, de-transforming Caliber and revealing it to be Kento, because
of course it is.
Who the fuck else would it be?
And I love that we explain this as basically his condition was, there was only two ways for him to go. It was either he die or he be reborn in darkness. Wonder what's gonna happen.
Die or pop out of the sword and take it out at the front door of the base, because nobody was looking when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I just find that hilarious. They're like, oh shit, Caliber's back. Did none of you secure the sword? Did none of you make sure it was in a locked room that only one person, that nobody can get out of? No? Then this is your fault. Granted, he can teleport apparently, so he probably just teleport out of the room. But anyway, that's the episode, which takes us to episode 26, Deeper Darkness with the Sword. So Kento's back, and he pretty much explains, after Sabella fucks off, that he's back to save the world by sealing all the swords, because reasons. We'll get to them eventually.
Maybe.
And then Kento fucks off. And then Yuri tells them the backstory of the show, which essentially was 5 people found the Wonder World. 3 guys, a girl, and Tassel. just to simplify it. 3 guys, a girl, and Tassel. The 3 guys are the 3 Meg-Eats because they fell to darkness, consumed with power, and then became the Meg-Eats. The guy is the original Master Logos that would be passed down title-wise through the years. And then Tassel is Tassel. And there apparently is some girl that connects both worlds, and that's Luna, and that's why she's important. Short and long of it. Also, the Sword of Darkness has the power to seal the swords because it was meant to counter the Sword of Light if it ever fell into the wrong hands, to make sure it didn't go bad. Question then, can it seal itself? Because that seems to be a design flaw.
Fair.
Like, if it can seal all the swords, it might need to be able to seal itself. Otherwise, there might be a problem for the Sword of Darkness. Meanwhile, Leggy's getting his upgrade so he can be palette swapped and go beat up Saber because he's still angry at Saber for some reason.
I think for constantly beating him, and the final straw probably was because of, Primitive going berserk.
For being a jobber, then good. That's really great motivation. Let me power up so I can stop being a jobber, sir. You're not going to stop being a jobber. You are a jobber for life. Tassel shows up to Master Logos to talk about, like, hey, what's going on? Or things look bad. I thought we were supposed to keep things in check, and Master Logos is like, nah, fuck you, I'm evil. Bye, and just disintegrates him with a book. So Tassel's dead? Question mark. Probably. This is when we catch up with Kento via Yuri. The two of them talk for a little bit, and then they fight. And then everyone else shows up, and then they fight some more. And Sabella's also here, and she fights with them and fight. But the main crux of this is we find out that while Kento was stuck in the sword showed him all possible futures. And in all the possible futures he's observed, the world is fucking obliterated because the riders fight the McGeeds, and regardless of if they win or lose, all their swords glow and combine with their books and make a big book, and the big book makes the world go. So that's a thing, I guess. Question.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Because something Master Logos evil something. Because we haven't really gotten into enough of that, I don't feel like.
I hope so, because otherwise this doesn't make sense, where I'm like, okay, so they beat up the bad guys that need to be beat up because they want to destroy the world. But in doing so, we make the big book that blows up the world, which was what they wanted to do to start with. Why are we not stopping that part?
I do know one of the flashes that did show Master Logos.
Yeah, he's there walking up in the background once. Otherwise,
so I kind of feel like that's probably that point where they were wanting to make of, yeah, this is all him.
Which apparently Kento doesn't know, because wouldn't killing him stop this from happening?
At the moment, no. After Elemental Dragon's created, then yes. Because at that point, you would have to think that someone would be able to stop all three of them then?
I would think so.
Meaning we only have one real threat?
Also, if it needs all the swords to work, wouldn't sealing just one sword make it work? Make it, or stop it from happening?
Yeah.
So as we come to find out, because Kento kind of explains this, and everyone's like, wait, you can't actually see the future? Because he predicts Toma like going berserk, but then like breaking out of the transformation because the child gets upset at him because he hates people, which is why he keeps transforming Toma into primitive dragon. He keeps hanging around with him, I guess. But after this, Kenzo beats / seals his sword. So technically the future is averted because one sword is sealed and can't be used. Right?
Nope. All of them have to be sealed.
Okay.
That's what he thinks, at least.
But yeah, that is pretty much the episode. How would you feel about these two?
I feel like a lot of stuff is going on, and some of it feels disconjointed, and then some of it actually works really good.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the disjointed stuff is, yeah, the problem.
Like this whole like end bit of this second episode works and like has everything it needs. The problem is it's built on this very bad foundation of, oh, hey, here's this character that died several dozen episodes ago and I didn't care about when he died because you decided to kill him twice because the first time wasn't enough. And you are talking about nonsense that just makes me go, okay, but like how? You're telling us we fight the bad guys that want to blow up the world. We still have to kill them because they want to destroy the world. What do you want us to do? You might want to kill them first before sealing our swords, because if you can't kill them, the world goes boom. Kenzo, you're going the wrong way. I don't know what path you're on, but I think you're on the wrong one. But yeah, like otherwise it's fine. I'm fine with what's going on. I'm just like, yep, Saber still is continuing on the path it's going. Hooray. It is clawing back from the hole it dug itself in. Too bad it is still not out of that hole.
Right.
Shall we hit the second half?
I guess so.
All right, episode 27. Sorrow, turn it into a smile. So Slash is scanning his sword, trying to find a way to bring it back. Nope, can't. Toma decides that he's going to try to talk to the kid, since he can only talk to him in Primitive Dragon, by going into the hyperbolic time chamber and transforming in there, because he can't hurt anybody in there, and he can transform and get de-transform as much as he wants, and flail about as much as he wants. Once he's in there, the boy pretty much hates humans, because a long time ago, there were a bunch of dragons happy with a bunch of humans, and then the humans were like, fuck dragons, and then killed all of them but him, and then he was alone and died, but was still alive, and therefore he's now primitive dragon, I guess. Right? That's this whole backstory, right?
Pretty much.
So, question.
Okay.
The humans killed all the dragons, right?
Except for him, apparently.
What about Brave Dragon?
No, it's dead.
What about Jack Dragon?
It's dead.
What about the other four dragons
no,
that are in Jowl Dragon?
I actually take that back. The last two you just mentioned, they're all just darkness. So.
Also, so Jowl Dragon and the four dragons that are in, or Jack Dragon and the four dragons that are in Jowl Dragon are just darkness dragons.
Yes.
Okay, what about the O2 dragons that are in Emotional Dragon?
They're dead.
Okay. Because that part annoys me as hell. It's like, all my friends are dead. Kid, you're talking to a person who has a book that literally contains one of your friends. The fuck are you talking about? There's also 2 other books that have dragons in them. There's a 3rd book that the guy you keep possessing also has that has dragons. What do you mean they're all dead? I don't understand. How are they all dead when we've seen dragons the entire show? Unless they're not supposed to be actually alive from the books. In that case, I don't understand his existence. But that, and also, if you hate Toma and you hate humans, why the fuck do you keep possessing him in order to try to kill people?
Means to an end? Question mark?
I guess. Which makes him a very spiteful piece of shit for this small child who is not a small child. Of like, okay, you hate people, so you're going to keep possessing this one person to murder people? To like, just flail about and be angry? Like, the fuck is your end goal in all this? Why do you care about possessing Toma and making sure, nah, you can't transform unless it's me? Nah. You're not allowed to transform into anything else but me now. Like, why do you care so much to keep doing this? But yeah, that's the short long of it. Legius goes out and starts fighting people, and everyone has to go fight him until Toma shows up so he can debut his new form. Because spoilers, he gets a new form this episode. But yeah, they fight and Toma shows up and fights them for being primitive until he like calms the kid down and decides, you know what? I'm going to tell you where your friends are. Your friends are dead. But they are the dirt, they are the air, they are the water, they have become one with nature. And that calms the kid down and gives him elemental dragon.
Mm-hmm.
That's our solution. Tell the kid, your friends are one with the earth now. And he's okay with that. All right, sure. Like, I feel like the better end with this would be like put this kid's soul to rest and his power still exists as the book, but he's just not there anymore because he's moved the fuck on because he died thousands of years ago or something, considering he's a fucking skeletal dragon at the end of his story. But no, your friends are dirt and air and wind and water and all that now. Therefore, we get Elemental Dragon, where they hold hands on the book and it looks like shit. I'm sorry. That part looks terrible. On the book itself, not on the suit.
I mean, fair.
The suit is fine. I think I'm just tired of seeing it in the back end of Saber because guess what Toma's going to use 90% of the time now? It's this book in this form. I hope you like seeing it because it's going to be around a fucking whole lot. But yeah, Toma goes Elemental Dragon. He uses elemental attacks because that's just what the book's called. That's really all the reason, which feels weird when like 3 of those elements are supposed to be tied to 3 other characters in the show. I think that's the part that also gets me, is just like, all right, it is Elemental Dragon. Okay. Does this have anything to do with any other swordsmen in the show that are all elemental based? Nope. Why? Like, that feels like a missed opportunity. Like, right? Or am I just speaking nonsense?
Yeah, you're right on that.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, water is Rentero's, who's his buddy. Earth is Buster, who's like been a mentor to him. And then wind is Ren's, who's a shithead, so that's okay. But like, could have gave him something character-wise that would make me not want to throw him in a dumpster. Not to mention, it only uses those three, and I'm like, we have established other elements in the show. Is it not going to use those other elements?
I'm pretty sure it used the lightning.
Oh, okay, I might have missed that in the fight scene. But yeah, Toma kills Legiel, and he has a flashback to like when him and his buddies discovered the Wonder World, and like we get a superimposed version of his superimposed face over his dying corpse. It's like, oh, I'm at peace now, bye, and then explodes, and I'm like, if I'm supposed to feel something in here, it is too goddamn late. Good job, show. And that is the episode, which takes us to episode 28, Writing the Past, Drawing the Future. It is a recap episode for like the first half of it, so it's just the team putting together all the information we have and stuff, so there's not much to talk about. In the back end of it, Ren tries to talk to Kento, and Kento just beats the shit out of him and half seals his sword, because since it's two swords, he sealed the one that doesn't take the book, so Kento can still transform. Or not Kento. Ren can still transform.
Questionably.
Because reasons. Like, wait. Why does it half seal the sword? Why doesn't it just full seal the sword? That seems like a design flaw. But then Toma shows up, fights Kento, and then Kento's like, the future's still fucked. I still have to do what I need to do. Fuck you, bye. And then Toma's like, I'll find Luna eventually. And that's the episode. Did I miss anything in the recap? Because I'll be honest, I skipped through it. I as soon as I saw it was a recap, I'm just like, I don't care. If there's something important in here, I'm sure it'll get brought up again.
I don't think you missed anything.
Okay. But how do you feel about the back half?
Wasn't too bad.
Yeah, like Elemental's got a good debut outside of all the dumb shit with Primitive that is necessary for it to happen. They try to make me hear about Legiel. I don't. Otherwise, it's fine. It's about the standard of quality I expect from Saber.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I also forgot at some point in this last episode, they tease us with our last of the main riders. The one with the last big important sword that matters. Spoilers, they're Reika's brother. They're terrible, they suck, and I wish they didn't exist in the show. Like, if you think I don't like Ren, don't worry. There is someone I hate worse than Ren. There is a character in the show that I'm actively like, if you put me in charge of this show, this character doesn't exist anymore. Period. End of story. I don't care. I don't care what toy I have to sell. I will invent a new fucking character for them to hold that toy. This character doesn't exist anymore. Period. Any other thoughts?
No.
I will take the silence as a no.
I said no.
Oh, okay, it didn't come through. Thanks, Discord. But in 2 weeks, we will pick this up because we're back on our regular schedule, which means tomorrow it is hopefully the rest of the 8-man or the 8-game archipelago. It should be. We're 1 game down out of 7, and we'll soon be down 2 games, like probably within the first 30 minutes. So we should be getting it done tomorrow.
I would think so.
Next Thursday, I'll be continuing Project Cross Zone. Next Friday, Fortnite is what she said.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Still not really decided.
To be determined. And next Saturday will be our first TGS of the year, where we don't have a lot to talk about because it's the beginning of the year. But if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away that affiliate. Go at TGS Network on Mastodon on social and at TGS Saloon on Twitter. We'll give you information on when we go live. Next Mission Point Discord and Jack. Get us a link. Drop by. Say hi. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.